Hi, I'm Jason Sterling, and this is brought to you by complimentary early access from the EA Gamechangers program. Thanks for watching. As much as I love, and I mean I love it, the town of Strangerville, the sort of upscale suburban type area above the town felt a little out of place to me. I started thinking that what would make more sense in a rural environment like this would be a farm, so I set about changing it to just that. Today I'm going to do a speed build and design tutorial for the bunkhouse on the Squires ranch. We're going to look at the distinctive shape of the building and how it expresses the history of both the structure and the family that owned it. This build, along with two others in Strangerville, is based on a real-life house from my life here in Oklahoma. I've made changes to the structure in the game from the original, mostly due to aesthetics. For instance, I added more windows, many more in fact. You can see on the back of the real home there are none along the last edition, and yeah, it's pretty dark in there. I made the outdoor porch area and in fact the entire structure as a whole somewhat larger to accommodate its new use as a bunkhouse as opposed to a family house, and I placed in some back doors as well. Quickly, I'd like to point out here from this one unfortunate picture of damage from a small tornado, including where it collapsed the lean-to on the side of the house. You can see where the original structure was in fact square cut logs. It was a log cabin built with square cut logs and then later plastered over. Let's start by breaking this place down over time. You can see from the different roof lines here in my build the way it was built over the years. It started with this one room central structure. With this central section, which was originally used for everything a family would have needed, I've set up a common room for after-work recreation. A bar, darts, and music. It's a rough and tumble type of place for rough and tumble type of people, so there's scars and stains and really nothing new in here. You can see the addition of various posters and even a true work of art on the walls by people as they've stayed here over the years. Over time, as families grew in areas that were being colonized by settlers, the original simple structures were expanded to accommodate growing families. In this case, a second rectangular room around the same size as the first was added with a second door to the exterior. I'm not sure what the original owners intended it for, but most likely a public area for the house where you'd have guests, while the older area became more for family. Probably a bedroom was cordoned off somewhere in one of these two spaces for mom and dad. I've set it up here as a purely sleeping space. At some point along the way, what we sometimes locally refer to as a lean-to addition was placed on the side of the house to use as a kitchen. A lean-to would have typically been a smaller, cheaper room that was leaned against the side of the existing structure. You can see in real life, the picture above, it was the first part of the building to actually fall down. I've left the space here as a kitchen. Most likely, before this was built, a lot of cooking would have been done outside due to the heat and risk of fire. Interior cooking during the winter would have been in the fireplace and or possibly a pot-bellied style stove. With this lean-to addition, a true stove of some sort, some manner of refrigeration, and running water in some fashion were undoubtedly added. As we near the end here, keep in mind this home developed over the span of probably 70 years in real life. So while it seems fast in this video, the additions you see here would have been on the scale of decades, not years. A new wraparound addition came last, probably finally adding a true bedroom for the parents and one large one in the back for the kids or an older generation. A true bathroom was squeezed in as well. I've used part of the new space for bathing, but in a much larger fashion than would have originally been the case, and the rest for sleeping. The patio area was roofed over and screened in to create a sleeping porch for hot weather. I didn't fully recreate that here, as windows don't have the same visual effect as screened openings do. An interesting side note though, and it may surprise many, some children would sleep on sleeping porches like this year-round, even during heavy rain or snow. Their parents would have simply thrown a tarp or other waterproof material over the bed coverings. Once this is built, you can create a farmhand family or download the one I have already conveniently made here. It's on the gallery under my ID TonySterling. Then create a club using the gameplay mechanic from Get Together that focuses on gardening, move them from lot to lot tending plants, and later have your main family go about quickly selling the harvest when it comes to full fruit. In the meantime, when you are next tackling a real-life vintage build here in The Sims, try thinking of it in terms of time and how you want to reflect the passage of that time and the history in the build itself. I hope you've enjoyed this video. If you did like it, please punch the like button and consider subscribing for future content. If you have any questions, please post them in the comments section or throw me a DM on Twitter at JasonSterling70. Thanks for watching.